decision. Anybody can be as rich as they want to be. That's the true thing about it.
And you don't think there's a level of intellect that's needed there?
So then we talk about the three things that hold people back. I believe there's only three reasons people are not rich. One of three reasons. They're either stupid, arrogant, or lazy. Stupid is actually the smallest category. People think, oh, there's a lot of stupid people. There are, but I know a lot of stupid people with a lot of money, right? There's so much money in the world. To be too stupid to generate money, I think is less than 5% of the population who are genuinely too dumb to ever make a good wage. Then you have arrogant and lazy, and these are the two most common. Lazy because people just, but I need time to myself. But it's the evening. Or, it's hyper competitive. There are people who do not need times to themselves. There's an Indian in Islam, or there's a guy in Islamabad who'll do your job online for $3 an hour and he doesn't sleep. You're going to lose, right? So if you're going to be lazy in any regard, you have to understand there are people like me who are billionaires who work 18 hours a day. When I finish this, I get into my car and I open my laptop and I work on my way to my next appointment. And then I'm going to work all night until the day I go. When I go to sleep, I close my laptop and I'm asleep a minute later. I work. That's all I do.
So when you're on your yacht, do you class that as work? Because I think a lot of people think work has to be in an office, sitting down on a computer.
Well, for me, it is because we have a film crew and we're filming and it's all being documented, and I'm doing my normal job at the same time.
And then this is work as well.
Absolutely. So this is just my job. So lazy is a big problem because people go, but I just want to relax. If you just want to relax, that's fine. But you're competing against people who just don't want to relax, and you're going to lose. And the last, and I'd say that's around, a lot of people have that element to them. A lot of people are lazy. That's about 50% of people. But the main reason people are not rich is because they are arrogant. 50% of people are brutally arrogant. And I'll give you an example. I have a school where I teach people how to make money online. It's called The Real World. It was called Hustlers University. It's now called The Real World. TheRealWorld.ai. You can see it at CobraTake.com. I sit here as a billionaire and I sit and say, I will teach you how to make money online. Anybody, 18 modern wealth creation methods. It's $49 a month and I will teach you. And people will sit there in their brutal arrogance and as a brokey with no money and go, yeah, but can he really teach me? I have everything you've ever fucking dreamed of. And I have all the money. You have nothing. And you're so arrogant that you believe you know more than me, or that you can do it without me, or that I don't know how to teach you. The arrogance of people is truly mind-bending. If you know so much, why are you broke? You obviously don't know. If I want to learn how to box, I wouldn't walk into a boxing gym, find a guy who can box and go, yeah, not bad, but can he really punch? Like, this is how people think when it comes to money. You guys are all successful enough. You can sit there and say, look, I do X, Y, Z. I have X, Y, Z. You don't have it. So do you want to learn how to play piano from the piano teacher, or do you want to sit there as an arrogant brokey? Most people are brutally arrogant, and you can sit there and you can try and help them, and they're just so arrogant. They think, I can do it myself, or I'll work it out myself. I don't need help. And it's arrogance, and it keeps them at the bottom. Everything great that's happened to me in my life, someone taught me. I had a kickboxing coach. My dad was my chess coach. You get taught things. To sit there and think you're too good to learn. Well, this is the problem. Most people are broke. Most people are broke because they're arrogant, bro. It's the truth. It's nothing to do with how stupid they are. They're just arrogant people.
How did you seek out those mentors? You talked about your dad teaching you chess and everything. So how did you find the other people in your life? Because not everyone has a father figure.
Yeah, that's true. And I found my kickboxing coach to a degree by accident. But I've always been a person who's been looking for absolute competence in the people around me. It's just mind-bending to me that people are walking through this world without understanding a very simple life hack. If I wake up and I want to learn how to bake cupcakes, my instant reaction is, who can bake cupcakes? Let me go talk to the person who can bake cupcakes.
It's easy, really, isn't it? It's easy.
It can be pretty simple.
It's a shortcut, isn't it?
It's a shortcut. So I want to make money. Well, who makes a bunch of money and who's telling people how to make money? Well, let me go listen to them. Let me get closer to them. But people just have this arrogance inside them. They don't want to. And I think a lot of the problem with people, especially in the world today, is they misunderstand the difference between a dream and a plan. And nothing good in your life is ever going to happen by accident. If you see a guy in fantastic shape, you don't say, how'd you get in great shape? And he goes,
it just happened.
Oops, I just fell. No, he ate a specific way. He trained a specific time. He did specific things for a specific outcome. And it's the same with finances. And most people who are broke, if you say, do you want to be rich? Yeah, I want to be rich. How are you going to get rich? One day,
I'll win the lottery.
Yeah, dumb shit. You have no plan. You have no plan whatsoever. No actionable steps. No, you're not doing things daily. You're just hoping some point in the future, God's going to just dump it on your doorstep. Guess what? It ain't going to fucking happen. And unless you have a plan, a specific plan, I'm sure you guys had a very you had a plan and you worked hard to get to your points. I had a plan. Everything was like, okay, today we have to do day after day after day until you get there. And this is what most people don't have because they're too arrogant or too lazy. I don't think it's stupid. I think most people, if you laid out a plan and they tried their very best and they were willing to learn, could do it. I don't think people are too stupid to make money. They're just too lazy or too arrogant to make money. That's the problem with people.
I sometimes think how much work I put into my life. I mean, literally every day, as you said, nearly every minute is to make your life happen the way you want it to happen. Yeah. And I look at others and I think, how do you actually survive out of it? You're putting no effort into your life.
It's true.
How do you actually survive?
It's true. And it's incredible because if you don't, I wake up every day and I think, how do I make my life better? Nobody else wakes up each day and goes, how do I make Andrew Tate's life better? So if you're not the person who's waking up every day going, how do I improve my existence? Then nobody is. Nobody on the planet is considering improving your one spin on Earth.
No one else cares.
Nobody else cares. So if you don't care, then you're fucked. So you need to wake up and care. And it's amazing to me. Like you're saying, how did I find my mentors? I just tried a bunch of them. Like when I had no money, I would try very hard I'd listen to lots of different people or I'd try different things. And I wasn't scared to invest in myself because I understand that, look, if he's taking time out of his life, then I need to reward him for it financially. And I tried very hard and I listened and I paid attention and I was never lazy. I don't believe there's a person on the planet who pays attention, tries their best, is never lazy, is on time, works hard, has a mentor, and is giving it his all, who isn't rich. I don't believe it. I think that if you do all those things, you're rich. And if you don't have any money, you're missing one of those key elements. Now you can fool yourself and you can fool everyone else and you can pretend you're doing them. But if you're truly honest with yourself, am I finding people who are trying to teach me what I want to know? And am I trying my best? And the answer is fucking no every time.
Do you think there ever come a time or an age where you feel you have to slow down?
That's a good question as well.
Thank you very much.
No, it is. No, but it is because it's actually been recently people have said.
Maybe I've got to that age where I've got to slow down a little bit.
We're speeding up.
Yeah. Well, I've had family members say to me, Andrew, why now? Why are you doing it? But it becomes a lifestyle. Like
I would say you're young enough to keep this pace up at the moment.
For sure. And I will. And there's going to be a point when I'm definitely going to slow down. But it's almost second nature to me. It's not a conscious thing. If I'm awake, I don't see why I wouldn't be doing something constructive. I'm a conscious now. I've woken up. I'm either in the gym or I'm working. What else am I going to do besides turn my brain off in front of Netflix? It's just all clown world to me. If I'm awake, it's work or training. And that's how I've always lived. And that's just how I'm going to live as long as I can. If I get to a point where I feel need to slow down, then I'll slow down.
So you talked about dreams and plans and how they're different. How does someone, I feel like there's a mental barrier in between actually taking action and finding the mentors and stuff. How do you break that barrier? Is that through watching like your content online?
Well, it's interesting about watching content because watching content can be a double-edged sword. You can learn a bunch of things, and everyone at home here, I like to feel like they're getting value and they're learning things. But there's also the other edge of people who feel like if they just watch a bunch of shit and do nothing, that they're taking action. They feel better about themselves, but they're not actually taking action. Yep. You know, so you have to balance the two carefully. Ultimately, it's going to be action that shapes your world. Ultimately, you're going to have to do something. So if you're watching something, you should be very conscious of what it is. I mean, I've created my reality. Absolutely. I've cut out all bullshit in my life. Like I don't have TikTok installed on my phone band. So I don't have anything installed on my phone. I don't absorb any bullshit, fucking random entertainment. I don't watch any podcasts of anyone else. Like nothing. I don't need to.
Obviously, you watch the Strike It Big podcast.
Of course. Sorry, I watch Strike It Big podcast. But I get a daily report at the end of each day and spend 4 minutes analyzing. I get what I need in 4 minutes. Read the piece of paper, boom, done. So I've tried to be very, very efficient with it. But yeah, you have to be careful if you just watch too much content. Like you guys have a website, right? And you teach things. I have a website, I teach things, whatever. If you watch this podcast and you've genuinely learned things from it, then you should be on one of the two websites by the time the end of the conversation ends. If you're going to watch the podcast and go, yeah, they're all pretty smart. Anyway, then you've wasted your time.
I get it in the comments where people have got what you've said. They've got it. Yeah. And they reply to you, I've got it. My reply is, well, action it.
Yeah.
Because nothing's going to happen. It's no good you just getting it. Yep. You've got to action it. You've got to look long term at it and keep going.
Completely. It's action that shapes the world. So if you're going to watch something, it needs to either tell you what to do or inspire you to take action. If you're not going to take action, you're going to fail. That's the reality of it.
Do you read books? Because Kai is, I always read books. I love books, but Kai doesn't like reading at all.
I think I would say that YouTube changed my life.
Yeah.
watching content.
Yeah, I
took action, obviously.
I feel like you only get the surface level through YouTube, though.
So I got roasted on Twitter for this. So they attempted to roast me, but they can't because I'm me. But I said that I don't read books and I'm very anti-reading, and it upset a whole bunch of people. My problem with reading is not that there's not good information there.
It's too slow.
It feels slow.
I'm with him.
It feels slow. I just feel like I don't have
read a bit faster.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't have the hours. I'm now at the point where I will hand the book to my PA and say, give me a 2-minute surmise, you read it. Like for me, that's just where I am. But also, life teaches you a lot. And I think a lot of people are not very self-reflective of their own lives. I don't think you can read a book and that's great. But I think if you're living an interesting life, if you were to take half an hour a day to actually sit and go, okay, what good has happened to me today and what bad has happened to me today? Why have those things happened and how can I prevent them from happening again? Most people don't, that kind of crap doesn't even cross their minds. Like every day I will sit at the end of the day and go, what bad has happened to me today? How did that happen? Did I get caught slipping was I on the street and some guys come up to me and it could have been a dangerous situation? Like how could I genuinely have improved my reality? And you can self-reflect and teach yourself everything.
But that's total ownership of your life, isn't it?
But you have to have.
But a lot of people don't.
You have to have ownership of everything good that's ever happened to you and everything bad that's ever happened to you. I have complete ownership for the fact I was canceled. I don't sit there and go, oh, they're lying about me. Yes, they're lying, but I still own it completely. They're lying about me and they're talking shit, but I own it and I took responsibility for it and I sat there and I took absolute accountability and I thought, okay, how can I turn this in my favor? And I beat them. If I'm walking down the street and it starts to rain, I take responsibility for that. I didn't have to be in rainy London. I could have been somewhere else. I could have brought an umbrella. Could have took a car. I am responsible for getting wet in the rain. And there's people out here who just don't take any responsibility for their own actions, let alone the weather. If you take complete self-accountability and you self-reflect, you can learn a whole bunch about life.
But could you not just say that it's raining, this is unfortunate?
No, but that's what losers do. It's raining. I'm unlucky.
You got told.
But that's what they'll say. I got wet because it rained, not my fault. Whereas I'll say I got wet because I did not prepare for the rain.
Didn't check the app.
I didn't
get an umbrella.
Correct.
Didn't wear the right clothing.
Correct.
You knew where you were. You were in England. It was going to rain.
Correct. And I will punish myself for that. And I'll make sure it doesn't happen to me again. I will sit and actually consciously think about it. There's been times I've lost my car keys or something ridiculous and wasted 20 minutes of my life. And I'm furious. And I will make sure that never happens again. I'm conscious with systems about stupid shit, so I don't make mistakes ever.
Do you know what? I get exactly the same thing. I beat myself up about things exactly as you're saying, and people tell me you shouldn't be beating yourself up about it. It's just one of those things, but I do, and because I beat myself up about it, it don't happen again.
That's it. If you don't sit and pay conscious attention to it and give it conscious effort, you're not going to learn.
I think there's a difference between beating yourself up and then looking at it and thinking, how could I have done that differently?
No,
that's why I say that to you.
I beat myself up because I think, why have I put myself in this situation when I shouldn't have done?
Yeah.
And because I look at it and dissect the situation that I'm in, then I can learn from it.
Completely.
I bet you get caught in the rain again, though.
I bet you I won't.
But even if you do, right, there's still a sense of satisfaction knowing you were forward thinking enough to try your absolute best. Like I have people who are after me, right? If they catch me and I end up getting murdered, for example, heaven forbid, I feel I had a 7-man security team and an armored car and I did my best.
Took the precautions.
Yeah, but if I'm just walking around like a dummy and then they get me, then it's a different scenario, right? So it is what it is. You have to self-reflect. And I think that, reading's great, but if you take some time to look, I get this all the time. People say, oh, my girl left me. Why? I don't know. She just left. What do you mean you don't fucking know?
Think about it.
Why did she leave you? Oh, because she wanted If you think long enough, you'll realize it's because of you. You were not important enough to make her not want to leave. You can sit and say what she did and what she wanted, blah, blah. It's because you couldn't keep her.